The psychology of people with great ambition but little action, prone to inertia. There is a type of person who is very easily misunderstood. They are not without goals, nor are they indifferent to life. On the contrary, they think deeply about the future, about who they could become, and about how it might feel if one day they were to achieve something truly significant. The problem lies here. Most of their lives take place in thought, not in action. These people often live with a quiet, persistent feeling that they should be more than they are. They can see potential in themselves, ability, talent, even a sense of difference. At the same time, they feel as though they are standing still, falling behind, or being overtaken by others who may dream less but dare to act. They are typically introverted, highly observant, and deeply reflective. In their minds exists an ideal version of themselves, smarter, more decisive, more accomplished. This version becomes the standard against which they measure their present self. And the more they compare, the harder it becomes to begin, because even the smallest action exposes the gap between who they are and who they believe they should be. One of their defining traits is that they equate their identity with their potential. They do not see themselves as someone who is learning, experimenting, or making mistakes. Instead, they see themselves as someone who should be capable of something special. As long as they do not act, they can preserve the belief that they are competent, even exceptional. But once they act, real results may shatter that image. This gives rise to a very quiet but powerful fear. Not the fear of failure itself, but the fear of discovering that they are ordinary. These individuals are also highly sensitive to the gaze and judgment of others. Even when no one is truly watching, they feel as though they are being observed. An unfinished product, an awkward step, or an imperfect attempt brings a strong sense of shame. This is not arrogance. It is because their self-worth is tightly bound to the need to perform well. On the surface, they often do not appear lazy. They read extensively, research thoroughly, and prepare carefully. They can spend hours learning, planning, and refining small details. But anything that involves putting things out there, submitting work, publishing, going public, taking responsibility, is postponed indefinitely. Preparation becomes a safe zone, a place where they can feel as though they are moving forward without having to face real risk. Another notable characteristic is their strong analytical ability. They identify problems quickly, see flaws in other people's plans, and understand clearly why a project might fail. Ironically, this strength makes them even more hesitant. They see negative scenarios too clearly and underestimate their own capacity to endure the emotions that would come with those outcomes. Instead of acting and enduring discomfort, they choose not to act, so they do not have to endure anything at all. Their lives often follow familiar cycles. There are periods of excitement and motivation when they talk passionately about goals, the future, and what they are about to do. But once they reach the stage that requires patience, repetition, and acceptance of early incompetence, their energy quickly fades. They withdraw in silence, blame themselves internally, and return to a passive, observant state. In social relationships, they often position themselves as outsiders. They watch others take action, analyzing clearly why one person succeeds and another fails. Internally, they may feel admiration mixed with envy, a desire to participate mixed with fear of not keeping up. They rarely express competition openly, yet they carry a lingering sense of being left behind. The central contradiction of this personality type is that they deeply crave recognition while simultaneously fearing the spotlight. They want to be seen as thoughtful, capable, and profound, but they do not want to be seen while they are still clumsy, uncertain, or incomplete. They wait until they are good enough, but that moment rarely arrives. At a deeper level, this is a person living in suspension. They are not complete failures, but they are not truly living either. They delay entering real life by living in imagined futures. They preserve a sense of possibility at the cost of remaining in a state of never having begun. At their core, people with great ambition but little action fear losing their self-image more than they fear losing opportunities. They protect the identity of someone with potential by refusing to put that identity to the test. And it is precisely this protection that traps them in a prolonged state of incompletion. They are not weak. They are overly self-conscious. And when that self-awareness is not balanced by action, it becomes a burden rather than a strength.